In September, the Republican nominee running for Attorney General in Wisconsin went on a local program, and he was asked about the idea of defending gay marriage bans. And the host drew a fantastic analogy. Look at his answer.
But if you had been Attorney General in, say, the 1950s in a state that did not allow interracial marriage, do you think the proper role of an Attorney General then was to not put himself or herself into the mix and say this is wrong?
Yeah, it is. And I understand the argument.
Your job is to uphold the law, even if it's something that we might look back in the future as absurd or something.
Well, it might be distasteful to me.
Okay.
But
right. I appreciate your answer.
I've got to stay consistent with that as the state's lawyer. It's not my job to pick and choose.
You failed. The answer is, of course, I would not defend an interracial marriage ban. It's called prosecutorial discretion. I'm not going to go after things. They may be on the books, but they can be patently absurd and ridiculous, and I just wouldn't do it even if there was some sort of political pressure coming from above me. I simply wouldn't do it. But he didn't say that. Oh my God, that is the least savvy person I've ever seen. You just said in the year 2014, well, in the historical context, I guess I wouldn't, I guess I'd have to. I'd have to go after people who are interracial and they marry. I mean, I got to enforce the laws. So why not take it a step further? If his argument is, I have to go by the laws, I just have to do it, okay, well then what if you were a little further back in time and you were in the Jim Crow South? And some black kid used a white kid's water fountain and they're prosecuting him and they want to throw him in jail. Well, I have to go by the laws. I can't. So you're involved in the Rosa Parks case. Rosa Parks, who refused to move to the back of the bus, and then, well, I have to prosecute her. It's just my job. It's just what I do. Let's go further back. Slavery. So somebody escaped, right? And they were caught, and the slave owner wants the property back. So you defend the slave owner? Well, it's just the laws. I got to obey the laws, man. It's just, it is what it is. No, that's not the way this works. Now, some people, it's funny because some people actually defend guys like this, and they say, look, it's just, you got to view things through the lens of their time, and you can't use today's morals to look back on things in the past and previous times. I think that is one of the biggest bullshit arguments ever. Because, sure, in minor cases and minor circumstances, you can say, well, in that area, I guess it makes sense. If it's something that's a tradition and it's part of a culture and it's weird as fuck, but you're not hurting anybody when you do it, sure, then you could use that argument. But when we're talking about owning human beings because they have slightly darker skin, in no context is that rational. In no context should you say only look through the historical lens and say, well, it's just different times and different places and stuff. So it is what it is. Banning interracial marriages, it's just a different time. It was recent that we got rid of that. How insane is that? And why? Because we have idiots like this who just say, well, it's the law. I guess we got to go hand in hand with the law. But the question is, does the law make sense? And the answer is, of course that law doesn't make sense. It's wildly discriminatory, and it's immoral, and it's unethical, and it's a personal freedom issue. If somebody wants to get interracially married, of course they should be allowed to. Same thing with gay people. If they want to get married, why the fuck would you stand in their way? It's none of your goddamn business. Social convention is not a convincing argument. Well, we just did one man, one woman for the longest time, and they had to be of the same race, so I guess we have to keep doing that. Or not. And we don't have to discriminate against people arbitrarily for some backwards idea from some culture that never made any fucking sense in the first place. So guys like this, man, they really are the worst of the worst. And look, do I think that he's in favor of banning interracial marriage or banning gay marriage? I don't know. I'm not going to try to read his mind, but based on his statement here, he's insanely ignorant and he should be in no position of power because that's not how you answer that question under any circumstances.